Alright, hello, today I want to be going over how to get to 111 in BFA in 20 minutes. What you're going to need to be doing for this is doing the optional quests in Surama. Now unfortunately if you've done the optional quests already, this isn't an option for you. So what you want to be doing for this is going through and completing the first Nightfall in quest chain, and then going around and finding all the optional quests and completing them up to a point where you have multiple quests in one zone. And I'm going to be going through and showing you how to find where these quests are in a second. But first I want to explain to you why you want to be doing this. So at level 110, the quests in Surama will give you 19,000 experience each. The quests in Kulturas will give you 22,000 experience each. Now the downside to questing in Surama is that none of the mobs will actually give you any experience. So the mobs will give you about 14 experience each. So it's not going to be very viable to go through and do the quest because none of the mobs are going to be giving you XP, but if you're just handing them in, it is quite efficient. Now once you reach 111, the quests in Surama will go from 19,000 experience each down to 2,000 experience each. So that's why you want to be trying to, plan your route out so you only get to 111 and not complete any quests after that, and then go straight to Kulturas. So now before you start, a couple things. You want to make sure you have war mode on. You want to make sure you have the checkered flag here. You want to make sure you have some speed pots, food, flasks, and you want to make sure you have the Cloak of Coordination to take you back to your capital city, and I'll explain you why you want that later. And the last thing is that you want to make sure your Hearthstone is set up in Uldum. So as soon as you've done these quests, you can Hearth over to Uldum, up to the Oasis up here, and then you're going to be flying to Syphilis, and in Syphilis you can start the quest to get to Kulturas to start your BFA experience. So where to find all these quests? Now you can see on my map here where all the quest markers are. You can pause the video and you can go around trying to do them this way, but what I do suggest to you is you use the Surama guide. Now the Surama guide lays out on Wowhead, lays out very nicely where to go for all of these quests. What you want to be doing is doing the Nightfall quest initially, and stopping after Shalaran. At this point you want to be making sure you do the Arcanist and the Chief Telemancer quest up to the end, and all those quest hand-ins will be in Muradil at the same point here. You can see those three quest hand-ins there. Once you've done them, you want to be going through and making sure you do all the optional side quests. Now these optional side quests, you want to be making sure you're stopping at a point where you have multiple quests. So you can see here, breaking the light breaker. At the second quest chain, you're going to get 2 quests. At this point, you want to make sure you do these 2 quests and then stop. Similarly in Moonguard, you want to get down to the point where you have 3 and then stop. And you can go through and do this for all these quests. So you can see in Janvik's Jarl, there's these Beach Bonfire, Band of the Blood Brothers, and Bite of the Sashtatar, whatever it is. And those 3 quests are the 3 ones I've completed here. And this is where I'm going to be starting my route. So you can see on my map here, I'm going to be starting in Janvik. So when we log in, I'm going to be making sure that I'm here ready to go. Once I'm at this point, I'm going to be following this route. So I'm going to be going from Janvik up to Telenor, up to Moonguard Stronghold, back down through Felsol Hold, and then finishing in Muradil. Now these points in the circles are where I'm going to be continuing the quests. Now the whole point of this is because Surama and the scaling, you are going to be one-shotting all the mobs in this zone. So doing the quests here are efficient provided they're nice quests that you don't really have to kill many mobs. And in Telenor and Felsol Hold, that is the case. So in these points I'm going to be getting up to the quests where they start going to the caves. Once they start going to the caves, I'm stopping and just moving on to complete the rest of the quests. And through this route, I'm going to get exactly to 111 by the time I hand in my last quest in Muradil. Now once you've handed in your last quest, I would highly recommend you going back to your capital city using the Cloak of Coordination and turning off war mode. It is likely when you zone into Silithus that the opposing faction's going to be there. Now because of how CRZ works, even if you are on a Horde or Alliance populated server, it is likely you're going to get cross-realm zoned into a place where there's an even population of people, so it is very likely that you could get ganked while in Silithus. So I would suggest turning off war mode just for a second while you're going to Uldum, and then when you've done your quest in Uldum, that takes you back to your capital city, and then you can turn war mode back on. So apart from that, this method will get you to 110 rather quickly. It takes me about 20 minutes using the Checkered Flag, which is a 30% move speed increase, so it is going to be much more efficient than doing any quests in Kultara. So if you do want to get a little bit ahead, I highly recommend you go do these quests in Surima. They take about an hour and a half to complete, to do all the quests, which is, you know, you're going to be spending about an hour or so anyway getting to 111 when the servers come out. So if you do want to save a little bit of time in advance, I highly recommend doing this. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.